I want to show you a number. A one-bedroom apartment in central Lisbon right now, around €1,700 a month. That same apartment in the center of Bucharest, €500. Same Schengen Area, same EU member state, the same right to live and move freely across 29 European countries. The gap between those two numbers is exactly what this channel is about. My family has lived in Bucharest for 3 years. We pay the actual bills, we shop at the actual markets, and in the next few minutes I'm going to give you the real cost of living here in 2026. Not estimates from a website, not a tourist weekend impression, the actual numbers. Here's what we're covering. First, rent, what you actually pay across different neighborhoods and what you get for it. Second, everyday costs, groceries, transport, utilities, eating out, healthcare. Third, the full monthly budget of 3 scenarios, a single remote worker, a couple, and a family. And at the end, one cost that consistently surprises people moving here. So let's go into the numbers. Rent. This is the biggest variable, so let's start here. In central Bucharest, neighborhoods like Floreasca, Dorobanți, Aviatorilor, a one-bedroom apartment runs between 500 800 per month. There is no limit to the upper end, of course, but I'm giving you more realistic numbers. That's a furnished apartment in a building with an elevator in a walkable area close to parks and restaurants. At the lower end, you'll find older buildings, slightly smaller spaces. At the upper end, newer buildings with parking. To this, it's important to note that you are strongly not advised to rent apartment in a building which is older than 2000. Bucharest is a place of earthquakes, so old real estate is strongly not advised. Now, two-bedroom apartment in a good central location, 600 to 900. This is what most expat couples and young families choose. This is what our family has for a family of 3. For context, that same two-bedroom in Lisbon will be in the range of 2,000 to 2,500 right now. In Berlin, 14 to 1,800. In Amsterdam, you're looking at 2,000 plus. Bucharest is by any honest measure 40 to 50% cheaper than any comparable Western or Southern European capital. One thing worth knowing, the rental market in Bucharest has tightened in the past couple of years. Prices have risen 15 to 20% since 2022. This is not a secret. People are discovering it and moving here in mass. If you are planning a move, the time is now, not in 2 years. Now, the daily stuff. What actually shapes how far your money goes? Groceries. For a family of 3, we spend between 350 to 450 a month in the supermarket. Kaufland, Lidl, and Carrefour are the main chains. Mega Image is the local next-door shop chain, which is highly available. Pricing here is comparable to a budget of a supermarket in Germany or in the UK. Local markets, piazza, are noticeably cheaper for produce and meat, especially in summer where local tomatoes, peppers, zucchini are in season. We probably spend 50 to 100 euro per month at the market on top of the supermarket runs. Utilities. This is an important part of the bill. Electricity, heating, gas, water, and some other local maintenance. For a standard 2-room apartment, 100 to 200 euro a month on average. This depends on the season and on whether you have a central gas installed in the apartment, how much you control the expenses. Some of the bills in winter can easily double. Internet. This one still surprises people. 1 gigabit per second home internet in Bucharest costs around 9 to 12 euro a month. Romania consistently ranks in top 5 countries in the world for internet speed. For remote workers, this is not a nice to have. It's infrastructure and it's genuinely world class here. You can also get good unlimited GSM for the cases when you need to have a hotspot on. Transport. Monthly public transport pass covering all buses, trams and metro, 14-15 euro. The metro covers most of the city efficiently. And if you prefer to walk, central Bucharest is surprisingly walkable. Transport in general is regular, well organized. You can even have an application that will show you when your next bus is supposed to arrive. Taxis and ride shares are also relatively cheap. For example, to get by the taxi Uber from airport to the city center, you will pay something like €10. Eating out. A sit-down lunch at a local restaurant, including a drink, around €10. Coffee, 1.5 to 2.5 euro, depending on the cafe. A dinner for two in a mid-range restaurant with wine, 25-40 euro. If you cook most of your meals at home, food is not a major cost driver here. Finally, healthcare. This one requires clarity and honesty. On one hand, Romanian public system is underfunded, unpredictable. The doctors are not very well qualified, and the level of service that you would get is below standard. There will be waiting lines in the emergency rooms. On the other side, the private health sector is going to be very accessible, well equipped, and surprisingly, you will find many of the same doctors working both in the private and public sector. People here are following specific doctors for any serious issues that they may have, including dental care. Now, with this, a family of an expat definitely should have a private insurance, which can range between 50 to 100 per month. Private consultations without insurance will cost from 30 to 100 euro, depending on the level of the specialist. We live with insurance which is giving us access to the most broad network of the private clinics, which is called Regina Maria, and I strongly recommend to look into this type of plan if you are considering a long-term relocation. Let me give you 3 complete scenarios. You can see it on the screen. So first one, single remote worker, central neighborhood, comfortable lifestyle. Total will be approximately 1,200 per month. Couple, mid-range neighborhood, one of the people works remotely. The total here will be at about 1,600 per month. And you can see estimated expenses that I have put here. For a family of 3, which is our scenario, good central neighborhood, 2,300, 2,500 a month. This last number, the family budget, is what stops most people. In Western Europe, a family of 3 in a capital city is looking at 4,000 to 5,000 minimum. In Bucharest, the same quality of life costs roughly half. The one cost that surprises people most? Kindergarten private schooling. Public kindergartens exist. They're cheap, almost free, but language here is a barrier for non-Romanian speaking children. Private international options will range from 300 euro to over 1,000 up to 3,000 a month, depending on the school. In some cases, there are even waiting lines in the schools. If you're moving with children, this needs to be definitely part of your budget from day one. We opted with our daughter for a scenario of a mixed curriculum in one of the private schools so that she is best positioned for both IB and a local style education in case we want to make some other life choices in the future. So those are the real numbers, not the travel block estimate, not the 2022 figure that hasn't been updated. What you'd actually pay living here based on June 2026 data. Next week, I'm thinking to cover Romania Digital Nomad Visa in 2026, what it requires, how long it actually takes, and whether it's worth it compared to the other regions, to the other options. If you are a non-EU citizen thinking about making this move legally, this is the video that you will need. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you have specific cost questions about life in Bucharest, drop them in the comments. I will read all of them and will gladly respond.